Hello my friends, welcome to Shop with the Shraders. Today, it's just me. So you're just shopping with one Schrader, I guess. But hey, that'll have to be enough because it is summertime. Of course, I put on the life vest for the gag. So, what do we have today? Yeti coolers, the cooler, the cool cooler, the best one. That is, hands down, simply what it is. It's the cool, neat cooler to have, and you show up to this with the party, it's going to be a hit. It's something that will last you a lifetime, and very sturdy. I think they had a bear fight it in one video, and it was fine. And also too, I like supporting them, and I like getting one because the Cedar brothers, their story of creating this company, their dad was an entrepreneur, they learned a lot from him, and then eventually they started this together and they turned it into a luxury cooler brand and made really high quality coolers. Now this one right here, if I remember correctly, this is the smaller one. Oh, okay, it's actually not that heavy. This is the smaller one, and it is $100 or $425. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of money to spend on a cooler. However, you will never need to get another one. So let's say you have, you like to hunt. You know, you can put meat in here. You like to fish. I love fishing. I just caught a smallmouth bass the other day. Big one too, big one. So, you like to fish, you know, you put some ice in here, you toss them right in, or if you were like me, you'd put water in a bubbleator. So yeah, you know, you really can use this for everything, or just taking it to a party. I have an event coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna bring these guys, and it's gonna be a hit because it has that brand recognition, it has that name, it has that, you know it's good because it's Yeti. I know I'm singing their praises, but I've never had one before. I have never had one. This is my first one that I've had. Everyone I know who has one loves theirs, and I've never seen a broken one. So let's figure out how to open it. Ooh. Oh, it feels really fancy. It feels really fancy. That is nice. Okay. Oh, it's got a little divider. Don't climb in it. That's pretty obvious, but you know, I guess they need to have that just in case. Owner's manual. And, ooh, did it? Oh, okay. These are other awesome things that you can get to put inside of it. And then this is the lock. Well, you can get, when installed, the lock port. Huh. I don't see the thing to, I'm guessing, oh, okay. I think you were doing promo code for it. I'm not sure. It's a lock for the Yeti. Personally, I wouldn't be putting anything in there that I was worried about getting stolen, so no need for a lock. This is neat though. Oh, okay, this is clever. Okay, it's basically saying put stuff on the top rack, or oh, it's saying to wash by hand, and I have dyslexia. Okay, so I'm guessing, we're gonna guess. I'm guessing like food, something like in there, you don't want it to be directly touching the ice. Yeah, no, that's neat. And I wonder, you can slide it fully in. And I will put this right here. Oh, and you can see inside, I'm gonna end up shutting it on my fingers. It's got a drain port, which is a godsend. I once, remember I was a real little kid and I was trying to empty out a cooler and I didn't know that it had a drain port and I was struggling to lift that. Where was that even? You know, those memories from when you're young and you have no idea when you had those memories or where they're from. Yeah, no, boy, I have to say, this is one nice cooler. You know, I'll never need another one. I've got this Yeti, and this is something that, I mean, you can feel it's got great quality, so it'll last, maybe not 100 years, but it's something that you can definitely give to your kids, something that you can definitely, you know, you're never gonna have to need another one. You can throw out all the other coolers. I will say that my experience with coolers have not always been great, just because, yeah, a lot of them either don't keep things cold I can't get that off. Either don't keep things cold or they break. And I'm not sponsored in any way to say this. I honestly think these are the best coolers. Wow, okay. It's got a good thing to wheel it. Now on to the bigger one. Yes, no, before this, I wanted to do a little homework. And I knew about the brothers that created Yeti. And this is the other box. I knew about the brothers, but I didn't know much about them. So I watched a little documentary as I set up the lights and everything. And I couldn't find my microphone. So my apologies. I know I have it. I put it somewhere safe. And now I don't know where it is. The Cedar brothers, I watched a little documentary about them. They're the creators of the Yeti. And they have a really unique story, and we are actually going to, you know what? Okay, I decided to change up the setup so we could get up close and personal with this Yeti. Now this one is the slightly bigger version of this one. What I have to say though, it is 450. So this is 425. So for 25, right? Oh boy, I'm gonna embarrass myself if that's wrong. So yeah, that's correct. You know, you gotta think of quarters. I have dyslexia, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, Only thing I can do is talk. So, for only $25 more, you get a bigger cooler. It's, you're already paying $400, so there's a lot of reason to go for the bigger one. However, I will say this one looks like it's a lot easier to transport. I'm not sure which ones would fit better on boats. You probably have to measure it yourself. And then of course, if you're putting them in the back of a truck, going on a hunting trip, gonna go hunt some wild hogs or something like that, then you honestly might need this. But this one might be easier to maneuver. What I like about this one is it has this almost like real backpack handle or suitcase. You can definitely use that as a suitcase. This one, I am not seeing that. I am not a fan of these type of handles, but okay, I don't see how it goes up any higher. Okay, you're gonna have to lift it in kind of an interesting way. Okay, interesting. I mean, the quality's there, the weight of these things. The box is covered with heavy stickers. The weight of these things is nuts. But, that's good. It won't blow away. Okay, let's get it out of this. And let's see how that's interesting. It doesn't go up anymore. I don't know. On a lot of coolers, it would go up more, I think. But then again, that's like the part that would always break. So I guess they did that on purpose, and it's pretty easy to move around. It's got two wheels on the back, as you can see. And then it's got the classic, quintessential Yeti rubber push down to lift up, then go more down to get it back down. Now let's look inside of this guy. That is a heavy lid. That is a heavy lid. I'm amazed. And again, do not crawl inside. And there's the bear sticker. There's the bear sticker. So that says IGBC certification, bear resistant. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And that's part of the brand. Now I know before, forgive me, I got a little sidetracked. I was talking about the Cedar brothers. I've been very impressed by them. They're very impressive entrepreneurs. Their father created a line of, or a coating for, I believe it was fishing rods, that when the fishing rod bent, the coating wouldn't crack. So he was an entrepreneur, and his sons learned a lot from him. One son, one of the Cedar brothers, had a custom fishing rod company, I believe, or a custom boat company. Forgive me, yeah, custom, I think. And one had a custom fishing rod, one had a custom boat, I believe. I know the boat thing, I think. Or it's fishing rods, one of the two. But they had their own companies, they were doing their own thing, and then one brother had found some neat coolers, but thought they could be improved because they always had trouble with coolers. And the other brother had trouble with coolers that he was putting into his boats, so it must have been boats. So the two of them after the one guy sold his company, the one brother sold his company, he got an offer one day. The two of them partnered up and built Yeti. And everyone told them no one is going to spend $400 on a cooler. I mean, I probably would have told him that. And now look at me. But it's the brand that they built. I mean, they're good. They are the best coolers. In my opinion, it is very difficult to find any cooler that will keep something as cold for as long. And I only know that because I have a couple friends that have Yetis or have taken their parents' Yetis. And they will put something in there with ice and you will open it like 3 days later and there'll still be ice in there. I mean, that's cold. And that is what you want. I mean, you bring these to a party. I think I'm gonna bring both of these. I think that the rest of the Schraders are gonna be jealous. I'm gonna bring both of these to this event that I have coming up on the water, so that'll be fun. Now, you know what? It said the name on the owner's menu. I'm stepping out of frame. Okay. I don't read very well. So this little one is called the Roadie, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below. And this one is called, I think, the Tundra. So that's a cool name. The Tundra and the Roadie, the little cute Roadie. If that's what it says, then those were good names. Okay. Boy, yeah, honestly, I'm pretty impressed by that. The last thing that I have to show you, my friends, is this guy right here. And this is a cooler ice pack that is also a divider. You put it into your Yeti and it keeps things cold. And you have to forgive me, I want to say I can grab my phone really quick and I'll be able to tell you the price. I will say this, things around the Yeti are expensive. This is an above sea level ice pack and divider for Yeti. And then dimensions, yada yada, $41.58. So I think it's gonna be a good ice pack. Let's open this guy up. When I was a kid, my grandfather did something very nice. Granddad, he did something very nice with me. He got out a knife I still have to this day. And he said, Benjamin, I'm gonna teach you how to properly use a knife. And so I think, had we gotten like a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, something like that. And he was like, when you are cutting, always cut away from yourself. You never want to cut towards yourself. I'm just doing it there as a teaching example. And when handing someone a knife, hold it blade up so that if they yank it out of your hand, your hand doesn't get cut open. And then after teaching me knives, he teach me how to sharpen the knife, with a whetstone. You put a little water on the stone or oil, and then it's this type of stone. It's like sandpaper texture, and you just run the blade across it in a certain way. And then he gave me the knife, and I still have that knife. And so that's a good memory. Now, just imagine all the wonderful memories you can make with Yetis. Okay. I don't hear any. Oh no, I hear liquid. Okay. Yeah, it's got some type of cooling element in there, and so I'll put this in the freezer. And then, which Yeti? I think this one, yeah. Oh yeah. Fits in perfectly. Solid divider, and that'll freeze up, and we will be all set. Well, my friends, you just shopped with the Schraders. In this case, just the Schrader. I want to thank all of you for your time, and hey, if you want to look at some other really neat things, then click right up here. You know you want to. Thank you guys. As my mother would say, love and God bless. Bye, sweet friends.